Hello, everyone, and welcome into the grand finale of this SAFA mini tournament, the randomizer that we had just for you guys. Powered, of course, by SAFA. My name is Selvin. Along with me is the legendary Arun, who is going to be joining us throughout the finals as a commentator, as an expert, and of course, as a professional. Arun, how are you feeling today, and what are your thoughts about this tournament and this game?
I'm feeling great and I'm absolutely excited for the upcoming clash. And we have seen some of the great performances in the tournament. I'm absolutely thrilled of, what's yet to come.
I mean, that's great, Arun. And I mean, I am as thrilled as you are, and I'm sure the audience are going to be as thrilled as we are right now. I mean, we had 16 teams, and we've now come back and come down to two of them, and we're going to be talking about them. But I think, Arun, it's very important, when it's a new community, when it is a new tournament, a new FIFA, or a new game that comes out, it's very important for us to understand the purpose of having a tournament like this. And coming to this point, why did SAFA organize this one? I think it was aimed at being the first tournament for every platform which has the game EAFC, the new version of FIFA, of course. And this was the first time that we had PC, PS, and Xbox players playing together. What are your thoughts about the purpose of this tournament and how it has catered the entire Pro Clubs players?
Well, that's a very interesting point to talk about because I do see, a lot of teams finding out new players, new talents, new play styles. One of the most important things that I have seen coming up during this tournament is some of the players that we had never heard of, coming from different communities, different platforms, showcasing their abilities. And again, we realize that crossplay being kind of it's the first time crossplay has ever become an official thing in pro clubs, and to see that it went on successfully and smoothly is again a big thing. And I really congratulate admins for the whole thing. I also congratulate the managers for the whole thing. It was indeed one of the finest tournaments that I have seen up. Again, it was extremely smooth. The players that came up and played their part, the managers that came up and played their part, the admins that came up and played their part. Everything was absolutely collaborated, and it's an example of what's yet to come in the community in terms of waiting for the official league as well.
That's great, Arun. I think you've summarized it pretty well with regards to talking about new talent, talking about players that have been here for a while, and talking about these professionals, the players that everyone look up to. And now that you've spoken about the league that's going to be coming up next, I think it's best for us to discuss about the league that's actually coming up. From the information that I've got, Arun, we've had around 30 teams already participating in the first ever, the SAFA Pro Club tournament that we'll be having for EAFC 24. 30 teams already. That's at least around 16 players each, if I'm not wrong, which means it's a huge amount of players. Would you like to give us a little more details about the format and about this league and what people can expect from this?
Again, we have seen some of the great talents and teams coming up. And again, as lastly when we had streamed, we spoke about the specifics about which team had kind of gained their registration, the teams that have joined. And we see some of the best teams across different platforms coming in and hoping to really get a bite of the title. Now, we are expecting the league obviously to be starting in November, and that's basically the idea that we have now. The thing is that we still have a, more than, I guess, 30 teams that have registered officially. Now we are expecting to wait and see how many teams are going to be in the picture, and as per that, the admins are going to go ahead and decide how we are going to deal with that. But as of now, I do see November being the starting foundation of the league that is yet to come, and I'm pretty sure the teams are very excited to finally start off the season officially, while this tournament lasted as long as it did.
Well, absolutely, Arun, and I'm very delighted to see three different platforms coming together and playing this game is going to be like something beyond words, something that I cannot describe right now as a fan of this game, as a fan of football. To see different people, like as you say in football, Europeans and Africans and South Americans coming together, different cultures of football. I am hoping we'll have to see and we'll get some different cultures of FIFA as well. But coming back from the league, Arun, I think it's very important that we also talk about the managers and the players that were involved in the randomizer tournament. Of course, we were there for the auctions, and I mean, not really the auctions, for the randomizer, as the name suggests. And it was really great to see a lot of people, like for example, United fans playing for City, City fans no, sorry, there are no City fans. I'm so sorry. Barcelona fans playing for Madrid, for example, just like that. And we began with 16 teams divided into four groups. And after intense battles, there were top eight. And after that, we had some more elimination semi-finals, and we have the final two teams that are here today. But Arun, would you just like to thank all the managers that have been so consistent throughout this tournament and for their just take the names and maybe the team names for them together?
Definitely. I mean, and we must also believe and remind ourselves that this is not, a close contact. When the tournament started with these managers, right, getting the players that they got in the randomizer, I must remind the community that these were not known to everyone. All the players were not known to everyone. The community was not as close as it is right now after the whole tournament. A lot of individuals that came were absolutely anonymous. The managers were anonymous, and this puts the focal point of the whole picture, that the managers had to do more than just what's expected from them in a tournament such as this. And I would absolutely love to congratulate all the managers involved, all the teams involved. I'm going to go ahead and share some of the names that I have seen, because I do remember the teams that came up and tried their best. And Shelvin, I'm going to have you take care of the names, as well, if you have some of the mention that you would like to go ahead with.
Absolutely.
Now we
Absolutely.
have AC Milan, being managed by I Anonymous. I did see them practice a lot. We have Ajax from iKickBuck 22. Congratulate to these two teams. Arsenal, it's Moon 710. Atletico Madrid being managed by Balaji. As I have already said, he indeed proved to be a very hardcore manager for the team, it seems. Barcelona being managed by Tailspin. We already know they have reached the final, so absolutely, again, kudos to them. I mean, they have proven their worth, just like the real club as well, Shelvin, I must add. We have Bayern Munich as well, which was again my team by Dominic Sabjiwala. We did try our best. Let's try again sometime else, Mr. Sabziwala. Now we have Borussia Dortmund as well, being in the finals as well. Let's not forget the manager Mehdi Islam, doing phenomenal, beating teams left and right and coming to this stage. Then we have Chelsea being managed by Vivek Negi, Inter Milan being managed by Faraz, one of the admins. So again, he was handling the admin's duty as well as the duty for the team. We have Juventus being managed by Wizmania. I'll let you take care of the list from here on out, sir.
Thank you, Arun. And we have Liverpool with Adi, of course, one of the admins again. Man City was being managed by ThunderX0808. Manchester United being managed by Rummy 103040. Napoli by Kingslayer 22B. PSG by That Unicycle 912. Real Madrid, of course, last but not the least, by Babos 10. Thank you so much, all the managers, for taking so much efforts. First of all, for being kind enough to accept the proposal of being the manager, organizing all this together along with the team behind the scenes. And I think, Arun, we also have to thank the goalkeepers. We had five of them. I'm going to list out the first three and leave the rest two to you. Arsenal, the player that was drafted to them was Actor SV, a very fine goalkeeper. Inter Milan, the team that was unbeaten in the group stage, were drafted Speedy Singh, and Liverpool had Mahesh Kalyan drafted. And Arun, just before we go into the video about how the group stages went, would you like to take the name of the last two goalkeepers?
Absolutely. One of them was for Napoli, as we remember very well, about ARPCR7. Then we had another one from Manchester City, Siam Kamal, again a brilliant goalkeeper. We saw these five goalkeepers being used and actually making impact in the tournaments as well, Selvin. Let's not forget, even though they were just five, they did make an impact of how important goalkeepers can prove in such tournaments.
Absolutely, Arun. And talking about goalkeepers, goals, and impacts, I think the admins have prepared a very beautiful video summarizing how the randomizer has been so far and to create that excitement and the thrill going to the finals. So, Arun and everyone watching, I think without wasting any time, let's go in and watch that video, and we'll be back with the grand finale very soon.
smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lights, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control. Breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you. And the blackened eyes make my way into your mind, just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. Baby.
Oh my God, those were some amazing goals and some amazing plays out there, Arun. I mean, I think this has been an absolutely insane level of competition that we've seen throughout the randomizer powered by SAFA, and the finals are going to be no short of the same. Why don't we just discuss talking about these goals and assists that we're talking about? Arun, why don't you take us through the star players with their stats and the players to watch out for? And not surprisingly, they're also playing in the finals.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a great example of what a great team can do. For the team, for the players, and again, the managers being involved in both the teams have proven their worth, not just in terms of results, but it seems statistically their players have excelled. We saw the video, we saw the players, we saw some of the repeated names, some of the repeated performances, grabbing hold of the title again and again and again, and it seems that we are going to have a marvelous match oncoming tonight. And let's talk about again in terms of goal scoring. I mean, I don't see it much of a as much of a surprise. We have Shobur Messi coming for Borussia Dortmund, and again, we are not really surprised. I knew this guy is going to do something like this. We have 14 goals coming from him. That's a massive achievement. 14 goals coming from this guy as a Dortmund player, and then we have not that far off coming from Barcelona's player who are also in finals, from Dark Shadow Fazal. This guy has scored 11 goals, and it's going to be very interesting to see, Shelvin, whether this guy is somehow able to grab hold of this golden boot, scoring more than a hat trick. What do you think?
Well. To be honest, looking at the stats of these teams, I mean, it looks very difficult because Arun, just to answer that and just to put everything into perception, Barcelona have scored 23 goals, out of which 11 have been scored by Faisal, and they've conceded only six. On the other hand, Dortmund have scored 31 goals, out of which 14 have been scored by Sober Messi, but they've conceded 14. Now, this actually puts me in a little bit of a dilemma because, if they've conceded 14, there is a high chance that Barcelona, you just don't know, can do it. But I still feel Messi is going to be the outright top scorer of this tournament, and I don't think there's going to be a change with Dougal as well when it comes to assists.
Oh, absolutely, and let's not forget about the play styles of these two teams, which we are going to cover, by the way, to all the viewers who are wanting to know a bit more about the play styles of these two teams, which I see has been very consistent throughout the tournament. Now, let's not also forget the third placer, from Sapi from Manchester United, scoring 10 goals. Great job, Sappy. Unfortunately, these goals were not enough for your team to come through, but I'm pretty sure you will have your time as well, my friend. Now, we would like to move on to the assists chart. Let's not forget, assists are the reason why goals exist. Assists are the reason that threats a defense line to an absolute menace to feel what's really going on. They would not really have much control over the attack incoming, especially when you have players like Shobur or Fazil running on your defenders. Now we have again a repeated story here as well. The top of the chart is being held by Dortmund's player, and it's, as we saw in the video as well, repeated goal scorer, repeated again goal creator. We have Aman Tuggel 210 assisting 8 goals. Now that's a brilliant achievement. Let's not forget the number of goals that we saw in the lists has barely reached over 10, with just two players reaching over 10 goals. In such a scenario, having 8 assists is a massive achievement. And again, we must congratulate Mr. Duggal for that. We have Mr. Jockson as well for Barcelona, again, the team that has reached the finals. These two doing the heavy lifting for the team again in terms of assists. Mr. Jorgen coming on with 6 assists. I'm pretty sure most of which were scored by Fazil. So Shelvin, again, this is phenomenal. The stats playing picture here is what shows us and tells us why these two teams are here in the final while the others are not.
Well, exactly. I think these are some top stats, not just for goals but also for assists. And looking at these numbers, Arun, I mean, the best part as an audience and as a commentator is that you can expect a lot of goals, you can expect a lot of assists. And just before we get into the play styles and the lineups, Arun, I think it's very important for us to tell all our spectators that the toss was done yesterday. Dortmund have won the toss and they've decided to be the home team for the finals. For everyone watching, just to let you guys know, this is a single leg final. So after 90 minutes, in case if we do not have a winner, we go into extra time. If we still don't have a winner, we go into penalties. But there is no second leg. There is nothing at all. The winner will be decided after penalties, just in case it goes still there. But Arun, I think that's an incredible format. And when it comes to winning the toss, at least considering that this is an online tournament, I think Dortmund have every reason to feel confident about their chances today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I do see these two teams as polar poles in the sense that Barcelona has a game style which absolutely is against Dortmund's game style, and we have the lineups here. We are going to go ahead and share these lineups for you, and I'm just very excited to see how one of these two sides make their strategies more fulfilling for the whole game. Shelban.
Well, absolutely. And Arun, just before we go ahead, would you like to talk about the lineups for both these teams today? I think the teams are almost setting up in their respective lobbies. We have lineups for Borussia Dortmund and for Barcelona. And I think we'll start with Dortmund first, considering that they are the home side. I'm sure you've played with multiple players from this team. And if you could quickly run us through the lineups for both the teams, it would be really great.
Oh yeah, again, Dortmund coming on with the classic 4-3-3 holding formation. It seems to be more of a formation that is used usually for possession. However, it seems the team's game is more around pressing, a high press and counter-attacking. We have Mehdi himself playing as a left winger, while Shobu Messi, the absolute menace, playing as a striker. And then we have the creator, the maestro, Tugal playing as a right winger, while Praveen and Sarvagya are going to be holding off the mid as a centre midfielders. Benoy Elton Pinto is going to be the defensive midfielder. We have played a lot of games together. I know what he's capable of. We have Beast Kapi Devendra holding on to the left side of the defensive hold as again left back and the left centre back respectively. And then we have CJ underscore Swat, and then we have Ashu Barua as right centre back and right back respectively. It doesn't look like the team has a manual goalkeeper, so I'm pretty sure one of the managers is probably going to start and move the keepers. But yeah, it's very interesting lineup as I said. Their play style is going to be quite different from the possession and the formation that they're actually playing. Now we're coming into the Catalan Kings, Barcelona. Not surprised that they actually reached final. By the way, Shelvin, just saying. We have Fazil, Dark Shadow Fazil, who is going to do his best to make it a really dark night for the opponents. It seems playing as a lone striker, by the way, and they're playing 4-2-3-1. And again, their play style, let's not forget, it's going to be absolutely around possession. These guys are going to hold the possession as long as possible, creating gaps in the opponent's half and doing what they can with the gaps. And again, let's not forget we have Sir Nix playing cam. And what else do you need in your team when he is playing as a cam? You absolutely are going to emulate what Barcelona does in real life. We have Mr. Jackson playing as left attacking midfielder. Tasir Adman playing as right attacking midfielder. We have Sandy Mama 97 playing as the left defensive midfielder. And we have Crucio himself, again the manager of Bengaluru, playing as RDM, right defensive midfielder. Now the defense line looks pretty promising, to be honest, Mr. Shelvin. Dhruv 22, again, I've seen him play. A prolific player. He's a left back and he's going to be the one fighting off Duggal's opposition coming on from the wing. Then we have Tailspin playing alongside him as a left centre back, Plastic 29 playing as a right centre back, and the Sallu Bhai finally playing as a right back, who is going to be facing Mehdi. Let's see how it goes. And again, this team also doesn't have a manual goalkeeper. They are going to play with the bot GK. And let's not forget, as I said, both these teams' play styles are polar opposite of each other. One is going to hold possession, do what they can with the gap with the player like Sir Nix. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen a lot of times. And then we have Dortmund playing counter-attacking, pressing game. So they're pretty much going to invite the opponents in their half, while Shobur or Aman are going to wait to break the defense line as soon as possible.
Well, yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Arun. That was very well explained and very well detailed as well with regards to each and every player. So it's not just going to be Dortmund versus Barcelona, Arun. I think it's also going to be Sober Messi versus Dark Shadow Faisal in that Golden Boot race. Aman Duggal versus Mr. Joksan in that assist chart. So it's going to be like a lot of individual battles out there. And as we can see, we have Praveen versus Sir Nix playing in that, in those positions who can be the star man for their team respectively, and they may not really have those stats, but they have that presence that can make all the difference. And just before we start the finals, I would just like to tell everyone we also have ZTM Foot, the great legend from Kolkata, in the chat with us as well, and we have around 42 people watching. The finals is about to start in the next few minutes, guys. This is going to be the last game of the randomizer of the first ever EAFC 24 Pro Clubs tournament powered by SAFA. Make sure that you go ahead and invite your friends, ask them to watch this finals. It's Dortmund versus Barcelona. Now, Arun, I'm going to throw a question at you. I know you're a Barcelona fan, but at this time, do you have a team that you're supporting in the finals, looking at all those players?
With all the information that you have of me, it's pretty simple that I'm going to be supporting Barcelona. Not as a commentator, though. Deep inside, I want them to win, obviously. However, I'm pretty sure it's going to be very difficult, knowing the two teams' play style. But I do see Barcelona possibly having a chance of grabbing this.
Well, Arun says Barcelona have a chance of winning this one. The stats, as things stand, say Dortmund have a chance of winning this one. Dortmund have scored more goals. Barcelona have conceded the least number of goals. And just before the game starts, Arun, I think it's also very important for us to appreciate the 16 teams that made it to this tournament. And we have some facts about this tournament, if I could say it that way. Arsenal's journey was very pleasant as they overcame some early doubts about fielding a team, but they managed to go all the way to the quarterfinals, and in fact even went ahead. And the knockout stage was absolutely captivating with Arsenal, Dortmund, having convincing victories over Chelsea and Napoli, scoring 7 and 9 goals respectively, which is massive. And on the other side of the bracket, we had Barcelona, of course, who were looking like a favorite. Inter Milan, as I mentioned before, were unbeaten in the group stage, but they were eliminated by the greatest team on planet Earth, Manchester United. This is what is being told to me. It's not my words. I'm just reading out what's written. And then, of course, we've come back and come down till the finals, which are almost about to get underway. I think there has been a small delay with regards to the kickoff because the match was about to start, but unfortunately, the connection was lost for some players, which is why they're going to be restarting. But Arun, it has been a great tournament. Overall, you were a part of it as well. You said you were playing for Bayern Munich. When you played in your groups, how was your experience against all these players from different cultures with regards to PS, Xbox, and PC?
I was reminded certainly, Shelvin, that I should have really put more stress to this tournament being a chill tournament. That's what I was reminded of, sir. Because when we clashed against these teams, yeah, they were taking this thing very very seriously. Some of the most beautiful goals that I see being scored come out of manager being extremely serious about what he wants to do and achieve with the team, and I'm glad this turned out to be such a phenomenal tournament.
Well, absolutely. And I think everybody in the organizing committee is also glad, and they're very glad to see a lot of people coming out here. We also have Ancient Aura in the chat. I've just read the YouTube chat and I see his comment saying I'm also in the chat. We have a lot of messages for you, Arun, in the chat as well. And I don't think there is going to be any prize to guess which is the biggest comment for you in the chat. If I'm not wrong, Arun, you know it already, which is never going to happen.
I don't see that happening, but thank you so much. I do see me being reminded of it, but let's see what happens.
Yes, indeed. So, Arun, if I could ask you for a small prediction going into this game, not just for the winners, I'm going to ask you a prediction about who's winning, who's taking the golden boot, and who's going home with the highest number of assists in this tournament. Three names.
It's not as easy as you would hope for the you know for the opponents to actually come across and going through countering Barcelona. But let's also remember that Dortmund has conceded a lot of goals till now. Okay, and we know what these players are capable of doing. Again, we know how well they perform in pressure. So I'm pretty sure that we will not really see much of a competition in terms of formational possession. However, I do see one of these teams converting their chances while the other team has having lack of doing so.
Well, that's really well explained, Arun. And we're sorry for the delay with regards to the kickoff. It looks like one of the players, unfortunately, has been disconnected again when the invite was sent. It's just a small technical glitch. I mean, you know how the EA servers work at time. And to make things worse, you know how it works when you are streaming. It's like there is gonna be a small delay or something like that. But
We
guys,
can
do not
handle that.
worry about the
Not
same.
a big deal.
Absolutely, we are here. We are here to answer any of your questions in the chat. Also, just to remind you guys, you all can follow SAFA on Instagram. In case you haven't subscribed to the channel on YouTube, the stream is live right now. Please do make sure to like this video and to subscribe to the channel as well. For more details with regards to tournaments, with regards to Discord, you can also join the Discord channel. And I think all the details are available on their socials as well. Arun is here. I am here just in case if you have any questions with regards to the league that is going to be starting in November. We'll be very happy to answer that. We have a lot of people in the chat as well who will be very happy to assist you with the same. But Arun, now we've spoken about Sober Messi, we've spoken about Dark Shadow Faisal and the players that who were there in the stats list. But now I think, as you were speaking about play styles, there are a lot of people who may not really have the stats. Like, if I could give you an example in real life, let's just talk about Luka Modric. A certain Luka Modric who may not really have a lot of stats, but he's somebody who's won the highest individual award there is. In these teams that you have, can you talk me through such players, who may not really have those goal contributions, but who have that presence throughout the field that, this is the player that can change your game any minute.
Well, that's a great question and a discussion that I would love to talk about. Again, we realize that there are differences between having statistical uphand versus knowing what you need to do and doing just that. At any point in time, as long as it gives you the result, a lot of players just don't care about the stats. They just want to go in the game, win the result, and get out, practice for the next game, right? And I'm not surprised that both the teams have such players who you cannot really cage in terms of statistics. It's, they do not have the statistics to back them up as such, but in terms of understanding what they need to do and the game that they play, I can in absolute honesty say that you have two of the best teams uh, in all fair manner coming on in the tournament and being in the final, because these teams have players who don't need statistics to really crack up the results. Apart from knowing that four of these people are holding the top charts in goal and assists, we still have a lot of players in these teams in between who, as I said, you can't really gauge those works around the pitch through stats. The stats will not really tell you the full picture. And again, it's not really wise to go ahead with that either.
Well, yes, indeed. And I'm sure that a lot of players, not just in these two teams, but also in the upcoming league that we're going to have with more than 30 teams already registering. And Arun, there's a question for you, and also a question for everybody who's watching the stream right now. We have Ujwal who says predictions on teams that are definitely going to be in the top five in this league. I'm going to be assuming that it's going to be in our Pro Clubs EAFC league. So, Arun, if you had to name five, or maybe, any number of teams, who would be the teams to watch out for anyone who's watching the stream right now?
For now, I'm going to say it's my team, Bengaluru and Blitz. I'm being unfair, I realize, but yeah, there is a reason behind that.
So only two? Or do you think there are going to be some more teams as well who are playing this one?
There are obviously more teams, but I do see them coming as a clash or a tie. I'm not really sure which team is better than the other.
Well, that's amazing. But Arun, I think now we do not really have to go ahead and talk any more about anything else, because the only thing that we're going to focus on is going to be the kickoff of the grand finale of the randomizer of this tournament that we've had. First ever EAFC 24 tournament, including players from PC, PS, and Xbox, powered by SAFA. Arun, how excited are you before this match kicks off?
This is great. This is the time that I was waiting for, and again, we have kicked off one of the great games that we are going to discover. Again, I'm pretty sure, as I said, my prediction are on point, but let's see what happens. Both the teams have great players, so hoping for a great match here.
Hoping for a great match for sure, Arun. And I mean, we both were discussing before the game. Of course, we were expecting some early goals. We were expecting some high end-to-end press. We were expecting some great gameplay. But both these teams, looks like at least Dortmund is playing it a little safe right now. And just in case anyone's wondering, I'm sure there's not going to be even one person with this doubt, but it's Barcelona in the blue and red kit and Dortmund playing in the yellow kit. But just to remind you all, it's Dortmund who are home. It's just a single game, and there is a chance already. But what a tackle, what a block, and making sure that Barcelona did not really have to trouble that bot keeper out there. Arun, I think this was a start that we were expecting.
Oh, absolutely! I was expecting this, and this is what happens when when you're playing a bot keeper. Oh, we have an attack oncoming. Tailspin with a great interception. I mean, it seems the guy knows what was going to happen, and he can actually do it and repeat it every day. That cross doesn't seem to be threatening Barcelona in any front. And again, I was going back to the point that when you have a goalkeeper, an AI goalkeeper, the movement really matters, and you don't really know what needs to be done. It's very unpredictable, and again, it takes a toll on the striker's confidence a lot of times.
Absolutely, very unpredictable, just like Jockson's chip out there, which should have been a goal. Sernix with a beautiful through ball, and Jockson, of course, would be a little pissed off and a little disappointed that he could not really finish that off. But I think Dortmund are going to be happy with the same, and they have the ball out here. Praveen, who played that beautiful ball at the some moments back to Mehdi Islam, has now got the ball, and here is the leading goal scorer, Sober Messi, the player that everybody would expect from his team to be the leading goal scorer, not just for the tournament, but also, in the finals as well. But here goes Sernix again, who has a very clear game plan. He wants to attack that left wing, and here they are again, Jockson in the box. Cuts it back for Sonics. That's going to be the first goal of the finals already. And the big players step up in the big games. This is a very big saying, of course, by some great legend. But Sonics proving that absolutely right, Arun.
There is no way you are expecting that chip of a shot coming from a double tap pass. I mean, that's what you expect from a player like him. I'm not really surprised with the kind of space that he was given by Dortmund. It was supposed to be punished. And again, as I said before, like, Barcelona's main focus is going to be putting Shobur and Duggal out of the game, and it seems they have been pretty sorry, Duggal and the assisters out of the game, and it seems they have been pretty successful in doing that as of now.
Well, pretty successful for sure, and I do not really want to exaggerate this, but Arun, this legend reminded me of the Messi and Jordi Alba gameplay. Messi passing it to Jordi Alba on the left wing, cutting it back towards Messi, and then an unpredictable finish. And Sir Nix right now playing that center attacking midfielder, doing what Lionel Messi does best and what Lionel Messi did all those years for Barcelona. And here they are again with a chance, but this time is going to be pretty comfortable for the Dortmund keeper. But going back to the goal, I think it was a thing of beauty.
We must understand how difficult of a finish that was. It went over the keeper. It did not dodge the keeper. It went over him. And that's again a mark of a great player in front of you right there. We have a chance. Shobu Messi has. Oh, that was a brilliant deflection from Tailspin. It seems Shobu was pretty much certain that it was going in. But again, Tailspin seems to be coming on, saving the day as a manager for the team.
Well, that block, some blocks are as good as goals, and I'm sure there must be a big roar in their party or in their voice chat for that block that was put in by Tailspin, and I'm sure that's pumped them up a lot. But Praveen has been an absolute danger man, and here goes Messi once again, but this time cannot keep the ball down. It goes out for a goal kick, but this is a warning sign for Barcelona, and it's an absolutely great sign for all the spectators watching who are hoping for an absolutely end-to-end game.
This is what I meant when I said that the chances are going to be there. Whether the team takes it or not is going to be the defining factor in terms of getting us the result. It seems that is what has happened. Those chances have to be converted, and unfortunately, it seems the pressure got to him.
Yes, it does look like the pressure got to him, but he has 14 goals in this tournament already. I'm sure there is a reason he is the outright top scorer right now, and he'll be looking to add some more to them today.
I'm certain.
And absolutely, and Arun, I'm sure, he must be feeling that, it doesn't really matter about who scores today, but for him, just like the others, they would be okay if it is their team who wins. And right now, that's what Dortmund have in mind. That's a beautiful ball playthrough. I'm not sure if it's onside. Looks onside, and for some reason, the Sobu Messi looks like Erling Haaland to me from here. But yes, it looks like it's going to be that just knocking on that door to score the goal. Praveen takes the corner to Aman Dukal, who passes the ball, trying to find Messi, but can only find a
That's
throw in
an
right
interesting
now.
corner in my opinion. Like I don't really have much information of why you would pass when you have a tall player like Shobur in the opponent's box as a corner taker. But interesting decision it seems, which did not really lead up to much. Let's see what goes on. And again, let's not forget about the phenomenal defending Plastic did there, trying to catch hold of Shobur's run. I'm pretty sure Dortmund is going to hold off and invite the opposition in their own half, and that's what they seem to be trying and do. Again, going back with the passes, playing it safe.
Yes,
Muscalo with a
indeed.
great interception there again.
Yes, indeed, Arun. I think what you've spoken about is something that Barcelona are going to be discussing in their voice chat as well. And here are Dortmund again. It looks like they have a plan A, they have a plan B, and the plan B with Messi is to just dribble the ball. Praveen now passes it one more time, and that's going to be 1-1. Aman Duggal, the highest assist provider, this time doing the job of the finisher, and he may have just finished off the chances of Barcelona running away with this game. Arun is a little quiet right now, understandably. But Aman Duggal, again, a big player, stepping up during a big game by the assist of another big player, Praveen. The three players that we spoke about have already shined for their respective teams.
I'm not going to say whether I am disappointed or not, obviously, but we must not forget how difficult it is for a player like Shobu for what he did, dribbling and holding the possession in the box with that pro. And again, he made the pass, and Praveen just doesn't miss those passes. And let's not forget what Dougal is capable of doing in the box. It seems that Dougal has the ball on the right wing, and he might want to cross. He was probably looking for a cut and pass, and again, great defense. It seems Barcelona was aware of what his intentions were, and Tailspin almost did a mistake there, saved by Crucio's tackle, who probably saved a 2-1 winner before the half whistle proceeded with it. That's again, these are the scenarios that I'm referring to, Selvin. Nerve-wracking mistakes, which will lead to goals or will lead to great defensive tackles or blocks. I don't have much, I don't really have much hopes of defenders coming out of pressure once they make such mistakes in a game of this high stake value, Shelvin.
Well, absolutely. Like, you would like it to come down to individual brilliance, but everyone would certainly not want to see an individual error in a final that leads to a goal. And just on a lighter note, Arun, Tailspin's DP on Discord is of Christian Romero. I'm just hoping that is the Argentina's version of Romero and not the version from Tottenham from last season. Else, he just did what Tottenham have been doing for all these years. But regardless, the second half is underway. The way we could have asked for it. It's 1-1, all to play for in the second half, and Dortmund on the attack already. I think they would have chosen the home side, also hoping that they got kickoff at the start, but then that was not meant to be, which meant it was a little fair for Barcelona as well. But here we are again with the second half, and now that is a counter. Arun, I'm just going to finish this off because Tuchel can finish this off for Dortmund, but that's some decent goalkeeper movement, and Tuchel will be very, very, very disappointed with that finish, Arun.
Nerves not enough in front of the keeper's movement is what I saw there. Again, we expect from a player of his caliber to do something with such a phenomenal counter attack. But again, kudos to Barcelona for what they did. It seems they were enough to buy some time for the keeper to move around and save, not just save, but actually catch the shot.
Well, yes, indeed. And Aman Tuchel would be a little frustrated with himself considering that he's already scored a chance which was possibly tougher than the one that he got right now. But looking at how this game is going on, it's going to be there are going to be a lot more chances coming in for Aman Tuchel because Sober Messi is being marked constantly, with Aman Tuchel coming out to be the player who can step up whenever needed for the team. And Dortmund right now, Arun, I think it's going to be fair to say that after they've conceded that first goal, they've played like champions. They've not let that first goal get to them, and they've stuck to a game plan, tried some different things whenever needed, and have come together as a unit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's not forget they have conceded a lot of goals this tournament, right? So it's not something absolutely new, but they have still kept on winning games after games. So conceding a goal doesn't seem to demotivate these players a bit, and we see that performance coming on from them. They're attacking, they're holding the possession, they're stopping the defenses. And again, this is a great example of what happens when you score the first goal and let your focus out of the game, and you just concede an equalizer within minutes.
Well, yes, indeed, Arun. And just to remind you guys of the individual battles, looks like the golden boot, of course, is going to go to Super Messi because he's still leading Dark Shadow Faisal from Barcelona by 3 goals. It's 14-11. But Arun, just to remind you, it was Mr. Joksan who got the first assist, which means he is now on 7 assists, whereas Aman Tuchel is on 8. So Joksan can have a script out here written for him, wherein he not just wins it for Barcelona, but also provides that winning assist and somehow takes away that assist charts lead as well.
Well, great players are expected to perform great in great games. So let's see what happens there.
That was a moment of that. Luckily for Dortmund, there was no Barcelona player waiting on the end of it, praying for the ball to be fed to their feet. But here go Dortmund once again. Binoy Elton Pinto has been such a class player in this final as well. Very safe when it comes to possession. Praveen possibly has been the man of the match for me so far. And here they go again. Dortmund looking like a different team altogether in this second half. But I think that's the comedy discourse that strikes. and the ball has been given away very cheaply. And Sir Nix now has the ball, has the vision to find a player who's found Dark Shadow Faisal, the top scorer from their team, who tries to find Jockson in the center, but too many defenders are on. And Dougal once again is going to play this ball through, trying to find Sober Messi, but it's back to Barcelona once again.
It seems we are looking at an end-to-end game here, and it seems Fazal has a again great pass from Fazal. But it was not enough. Again, we must realize that when you give a team like Dortmund enough time to get in the box, right, going to the wing, attacking, you are really not having a lot of options in attack to do much as an individual player. With that pass, I see him getting covered up by at least 4 defenders. Doesn't look much of a theatric pass there. Oh, that was a cross which was blocked, unfortunately. Now, Islam seems to be playing pretty defensive here. He doesn't want to take too many risks of switching the ball around, which I see coming from the other wings as well. Shobur with the pass. Islam is having the ball. Let's see what Mehdi does with it. He passes the ball back to Wagya. Wagya to Praveen. Praveen to Suksh. Again, we saw how a pressing team can take the possession off from the ball right away. This is a phenomenal example of what I was talking about just a bit earlier, that Barcelona is going to not just hold possession, they're going to do their best to take the possession and wait for the attacking half to disperse while they wait for the gaps to form up. And Dortmund has just been trying to take the game in their own hands through that pressure. And I don't see Dortmund doing too much to really get through that, because as we see right away, some of the main attacks have not been able to get through into the opponent's box, while Barcelona has had multiple chances till now.
Well, yes, indeed, Arun. And talking about the game styles and the gaps opening up, I think this is the time wherein you have to make that call. Do I go for the goal? Do I take that 50-50 pass, or do I keep the ball and not let my opponent get it? And that's what these two teams are struggling with right now. They're going for that 50-50 pass and eventually losing the ball, but maybe their risk is not paying off with a reward right now. And here go Barcelona again, another 50-50 pass. It goes inside the box, and that could have been a winner by Faisal, but I do not know who the player was. But that block or that interception is going to be as crucial as the winning goal, if any, in the 90 minutes. But a way to intercept, and that's been just given away.
Jockson is not going to be happy with that, because it was his ball, he received it, and it seems Fazil's player just came on and took the ball from him and a shot which was not really successful. I'm pretty sure Jockson is going to be pretty mad at what just happened, because the ball from Nix was a masterclass.
It was indeed a masterclass, and we are into the last minute of stoppage time. Possibly we'll have one last attack if there is a chance. Dark Shadow Faisal trying to keep the ball in. Has the ball been intercepted? No, it's still here with them. Sir Nix on the spot. Sir Nix scoring the winner. 1 minute of extra time. Second minute is where he scores it. Sir Nix stepping up on the biggest of stages, as he must have done multiple times, and with the last kick of the game, wins it for FC Barcelona. Arun has muted himself and he's shouting out there, rejoicing for this Barcelona victory. But congratulations to FC Barcelona, congratulations to Tailspin, of course to Arun and all the Barcelona fans out there, the winners of the first ever Randomizer EAFC Pro Clubs tournament powered by SAFA are FC Barcelona. But your thoughts about the goal, Arun?
I have nothing to say apart from being absolutely ecstatic. We have a timing of the goal which just doesn't give opponent anything to do with it. They just stay there and concede it. And again, this was a mistake from the defense of the Dortmund, and Barcelona, having no time of their sleeves, had the best player on the ball that they could possibly have. And again, we know what he's capable of doing. You cannot think of giving Nix that much space in the box and hope to get away from it. There is no way in any parallel world. You're just going to concede the goal, and that's what we see happening. Great job, Barcelona, and I'm just so glad that they won this whole thing. And again, deserved. Tailspin, you must be congratulated, my friend, for what you have achieved here. And Shelvin, over to you. I'm just so excited right now.
Well, I think you have every right to be excited about the same. Whilst we are on, we can also see those goals that went in. And it comes down to fine margins. Like, Tuchel missed a similar chance at the start of the second half. Sir Nix buried that chance right at the end. And CJ Sport is going to be gutted because, he was going there for the interception. He actually won the tackle, but the ball went back to the Barcelona player. And unfortunately for all those 11 or 10 Dortmund players, it landed on the feet of Sir Nix. And once it did, I think everybody playing, everybody watching, and everybody just knew that there's only going to be one place where the ball is going to land, and that is going to be the back of the net. And now that Barcelona has won, Arun, there is a high demand in the chat from all Barcelona and football fans, and you know what the demand is going to be. I already know the answer, but I think you should say it again.
Uh, I'm guessing for us to talk about more analytics of the game rather than a certain someone's face. I'm pretty sure of it.
But yes, Arun, what a game this was. You would have expected to see some crazy things in the final, and it was nothing short of entertainment. The FIFA World Cup 2022 finals was on another level. This may not have been as interesting as that, but the South Asian Football Alliance Presents Mini Tournament Randomizer was absolutely on another level. And I am also getting an update that we have been joined out here by Tailspin, the captain of Barcelona, and by their star man, the man of the match, the person that made all the difference, not just today, but for so many years in this community, Sir Nix. Welcome in, guys, and congratulations.
But great to have here. Great to be here. It's still registering all of that. It was quite an intense match, but yeah, amazing. Nick, can
This
you hear
win
me?
was indeed needed.
Thank you so much for the kind words. I lit a cigarette right after the game ended. That's how fucking nervous I was.
Yeah, bro.
I am very sure. Luckily, we do not have anybody below the age of 18 watching. So, Nix, you are completely free to use all the words that you want, which you will still use regardless. But yes, I do not really have to ask you these questions. So I'm going to start with Sir Nix first. Of course, Dave, I'm going to ask you some questions later. But Sir Nix, you had two chances in the game. Okay, the moment you scored those two goals, the first thing that I said was big players deliver during big games. Now there is a small difference when it comes to great players and when it comes to good players is how they perform under pressure. I just want you to tell these people, whoever is watching, what is that one step that they need to take to go from good to great, if there is something that you would like to tell them.
First it's gonna be well, firstly, I don't think it was that big of a performance by me because I'm looking at my stats right now and I lost the possession 11 times. You know what I mean? So it's always a team effort, right? You got to surround yourself around good players who are of the same mentality, same play style. And luckily, touchwood, I got drafted into a team where people are trying to play the style I like to play. And you should have heard me in chat. I don't talk a lot when I'm in draft teams because I don't know a lot of people, but I think the credit should go to Sandy because he played a fucking sorry for my language.
That's okay.
He played a brilliant ball. He played a brilliant pass right at the end over there. And that's what made the goal because I was one-on-one. All I had to do was hit the target then. So, yeah, and always keep it simple. Understand your play style and stick to that. You're obviously going to take time. It's all about maturity. Try to mature and, yeah, things work out eventually.
Well, that's really well explained, Sir Nix. It's been I'm sure there were a lot of nerves. And as you said, you were humble enough to accept that you lost the possession 11 times, which is very unlike a performance that you would give. But regardless, right now at least, you're going to be happy, and the cigarette is also waiting. But Tailspin, coming to you, Arun had a lot of praise for you during the game. Of course, even me. You made a very crucial block from Sober Messi, the top scorer of this tournament. We're going to come to him as well. But that block right at the start, and I think 2-3 more interceptions and tackles, which eventually helped you all win the match. So how was the situation in your voice chat, because we were all muted, so we could not really hear you all. Every time you all won the ball or maybe had a defensive tackle, how was the passion and the excitement? Were you all shouting? Were you all just excited about how it went?
No, from the start, I've always told my players to just be calm. Even if we make mistakes, it's okay. Even sometimes I make mistakes. So we never panicked. We were never shouting in any of the matches, whether it was finals, semifinals, or any matches. So the key was always for me was to just be calm, even if it's okay. We just need to play our style. No need to be nervous. Mistakes can happen. So yeah, it was always very calm. So that was something. Nick's also helped me out on that. So yeah, that's what I like the most about this team. Everyone was really calm and composed, and even if things were not going in our favor, I mean, there was a part when they were dominating most of the position as well, and they were in our half. So even at that time, we didn't lose our cool, or we didn't started shouting at each other. We knew that when we get the chance, we'll take it, and as always, and yeah, things just worked out. So there was never a question of shouting or being even not really pumped up as well. That was my job. I mean, if I'm playing in defense, so I need to block that shot. I need to lead from the front. So yeah, glad
That's
it
great.
worked out.
That's great. So Arun, I just made a
So
joke
one
and
second, I'd like to interrupt
yeah.
for a minute because I think I owe it to the team. I would like to give a shout out to the entire 10, including myself, because why the fuck not? Because we had a 14-man squad, and only these 9 players alongside myself showed up every day for practice or the tournament games, and they were very, very open to suggestions, open to playing how we wanted to play. And even Crucio and Salu, we had big leaders in them. It really helped out keep the camp calm. And yeah, it was nice to play along these boys.
Well,
Shout
that's
out to
really great.
all of these boys.
That's
Yeah.
really great. I think that's one of the best things that you need. And we have Tailspin who's a great leader, along with Nix, Crucio, and Salu, as you mentioned, maturity, as Sir Nick said already. But then I'm just gonna make the situation a little lighter. So Nix, this is something that happened during the game. Okay. So on Discord, Sir Nix has a DP right now of Cruyff, but we have Tailspin, of course, who has a DP of Christian Romero. And when he gave away the ball just before halftime, the first thought that came to my mind was, I hope this is not Tottenham's Romero from last year,
Oh
and this is
God.
Argentina's Romero. And luckily, and fortunately for Barcelona, it did turn out to be Argentina's Romero with a solid defensive performance. But yes, congratulations once again. Arun, do you have any questions for both of them?
I mean, with all that I have heard from both of these, it concretes the proof that a team that deserved to be here was here all along. Again, they spoke about how well their team handled pressure. They spoke about how the managers and the people collaborated, made the game worth playing, and that's just what it means at the end of the day. And again, results happen as a consequence, right? The journey, I'm pretty sure Tailspin and Cernex are going to cherish for the whole tournament. It was a phenomenal experience, not just for you guys, by the way, but for us commentating on the whole content. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, just to add,
Yeah.
like last few words, I mean, to the SAFA team, I mean, who organized this tournament, and it went smoothly. I mean, I've been in the previous tournaments as well, but this one was, I just want to give you all credit. So from the admins and everyone who was involved, who, gave so much time to this tournament. So well done. I mean, and yeah, things are looking really good. So
Yeah, thanks to the SAFA team.
yeah.
It's been a really big eye opener, playing alongside so many new players, teams, different people from different parts. It's been nice. Thank you, SAFA boys.
Oh, that's really great. Thank you, Tailspin, and thank you, Sonix, for your time. I think you all should go ahead and enjoy the victory. All the best to both of you guys and your entire team for the upcoming league with regards to your respective teams. Thank you once again for joining in this post-match interview. We're gonna just end the stream by talking about the individual prize winners. Once again, thank you for joining us, Tailspin and Sir Nix.
Thank
So,
you.
Arun,
Thank
now
you.
we go back and talk about the individual prize winners that we had. Sober Messi, unfortunately for him, could not win the entire trophy, but does win the top goal scorer. And of course, unfortunately, again, Aman Duggal did score in the finals and goes on to win the top assist provider without the trophy. Reminds me of a certain campaign by a certain player, but I'll not talk about that. But congratulations to both these guys. I know they'll not really be happy considering that they've not won the tournament, but then what you've achieved is not something to feel bad about. 14 goals and 8 assists, respectively, is an amazing feat, isn't it, Arun?
Oh, absolutely. There is no denying that. And let's not forget how these two players helped their team as well. I mean, obviously did not turn out as they had hoped, but they did what they could. And Messi and Tuchel both have great days coming on. They are both playing for promising teams, right? So I'm pretty sure we are going to see their names repeated in the stats sheet again and again in the oncoming tournaments. Apart from that, my boy Fazil, you did your best. That was a great performance by you, as always. And let's not forget about Mr. Jackson. Now, we did not really see much of a repeat from, as we saw in the last few games, from the same scorers as, really dominating. It seems the name that came out to be the one scoring as well as assisting were different, but that's just what we needed in finals to really carry the match forward and get it all done and sealed for Barcelona.
Well, yes, indeed. And thank you so much, Arun, for covering that part up. I think just before we end this stream, we would like to thank everyone who's watching us out here. Just to remind y'all, please do make sure to follow SAFA on Instagram and also to subscribe to the YouTube channel and be a part of the Discord community. There is also a suggestions channel where you can say whatever you want in the future. So make sure that you're a part of the SAFA community on social media as well as on Discord. The league will be starting very soon. 30 teams already, expecting more teams. The format details, etc., will be revealed to you guys very, very, very soon. And do not worry about such tournaments. I'm sure a lot of you all had a great time. Thank you to each and every participant who registered. I'm guessing we had over 200 players who had registered for this randomizer, the first ever for EAFC 24, which was powered by SAFA. I think it would have not been possible without the admin team, without the managers, and of course, without all you players that were a part of it. And Arun, just before we end the stream, is there any message that you would like to give all the people who are watching?
Just expect more of such content coming on, guys. I mean, this is a great potential board, and you will see a lot of players, a lot of managers proving their worth again and again. So stay tuned for the space. We are going to cover the league as well for you guys, and keep on practicing, keep that grind up. The chill is over now, and it's time to get serious.
Well, absolutely. So thank you, Arun. It was a pleasure doing this stream with you with
Likewise.
regards to commentary and the hosting. And it has been a pleasure doing this for the South Asian Football Alliance as well. We will be back very soon on the same channel. Make sure to stay connected with SAFA. My name is Selvin. I have Arun with me, and that's going to be the end for tonight. But this is not a goodbye. This is a promise of meeting again. Until next time, from me and Arun, we will see you guys soon.